place with a light down. This just got a whole lot more interesting.
Now that looks like fun. Mind if we play?
Dibs on the magic, lady. We fight as a team, Mikey. Fine. Coming through, dude.
Alright everybody, welcome back to the action, and it is of course the Injustice 2 Showcase Tournament, and this is currently being hosted at Discomics Africa, and this is thanks to Nikon, PSG, ACGL all coming together, trying to get this one going and off the ground essentially, where the winner is going to be walking home with a trip to Egypt. And that follow-up prize will be spoken to about in more depth, I'm sure, at Discomics Africa, as well as the crew that is going to be handling the business on that side. But for right now, it is time to look at the first matches, as we've got some of the top 4 players participating in this tournament. Our top 2 players from the Injustice 2 Legendary Series, essentially GEM Zaza, who came out on top with the #1 seed there, FTG Shokon on the side of things, and then we've got FTG Arabus Stacks, as well as J25 Flow, ready to keep this one going. But on the other side of things, it is our first game, and that's going to be Shokon taking on Arabus Stacks. So how about we see how they stack up against one another? So first up, on Arabus Stacks side of things, he's going to be playing with the Catwoman, probably some Black Manta, and we've got some Captain Cold, nationality all the way from Kenya, as the champion of essentially that qualifier on that side of things. And then when it comes down to FTG Shokon, a prolific South African player in his own right, playing with Superman, Supergirl, as well as the Black Manta. This should be a decent matchup, and I believe our players are pretty much ready. They are in the lobby, so now it is all about making sure that we can get them ready and get this one started. I want to find out what you think is going to go down, as it looks like we are going to jump straight into character selection here, ladies and gentlemen, as we are ready to start this matchup, as it is going to be Arabus Stacks on our right-hand side.
Black Adam.
And on our left-hand side, it is going to be Shokon.
Fighters approaching Fortress of Solitude.
So I'd like to welcome each and every one of you joining us here today, as now we can push this one live. It is Shokon taking on Arabus Stacks, and this is a first to 3. And for right now, it looks like Arabus Stacks is going to jump straight into it, putting some heavy damage on his opposite number, the man hailing from Kenya, as you can see, represented by that Catwoman, the white outfit. And on the side of things, it's the Black Adam from Shokon that you've got to be so careful with, as he managed to get that knock up and follows up the combo with a 14 hit, managing to land 450 damage. A great throw escape, as showing some great tech, as he will be able to work his way in. Going to use that trait to chip away some damage. The overhead with the lightning strike going to be able to come down. And now it is once again Arabus Stacks on the back foot. He's going to use that mid-air meter burn escape to try and get himself out of damage, but it seems like it might be a little bit too late. As for right now, it is going to be Shokon essentially taking that first bar away from his opposite number. And on the other side of things, it is going to be Arabus Stacks trying to get his way out of the situation. Does the meter burn back 3, which is going to knock him across the map. Unfortunately, not going to be able to follow through with the combo. And it is currently Shokan looking dominant. But he is now backed into the corner as the grab will be able to land from the Catwoman. It is the low into the connection with the lightning that will keep the juggle up and put Arbor Stacks back into the corner. As a couple of footsies will get traded out, some good grab tech being shown as once again Lai's going to try and come in with the overhead. He managed to land the shots, and that's going to be the first round. Going over to Shokan.
Black Adam wins.
And Black Adam taking that number 1. So we'll have to wait and see. Will Arbor Stacks change things up now as we go back to character select to see what is going to happen on this side of things. So
Black Adam.
Catwoman seems to be the way to go about things. Not going to be changing up their characters. The only thing that essentially will change here is a couple of outfits and essentially where they're going to be going to on the map. But for right now,
Fortress of Solitude.
It looks like we're heading over to the Fortress of Solitude, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're wondering why you're joining us here today, this is the Showcase Tournament at Discop Africa, presented to you by Nikon as well as the good old folks at PSG and ACGL. So for right now, Shokan with a 1-0 lead. It is a first to 3 in a double elimination competition, so Arbor Stacks will essentially find himself on the back foot on these early stages. As he's trying to open up a combo, will be able to punish with the mid as Shokan overextends himself. Managed to land that cross map as finally works his way in, chipping away at a little bit of damage. You can see both of these players trying to get the feel for one another's playstyles at the moment. You can see the edgy playstyle with the lows. Shokan managed to land that interactable into a back 3, however, will drop the combo halfway through. And at the moment it is spread rather evenly in this, the second round of this best of 5, first to 3. In this, the first rounds. And if you're wondering who else is going to be in the competition, we've got J25 Flow also representing from the Kenyan side of things. And then we've got obviously our champion of the Injustice 2 Legendary Series, brought to you by ACGL, where it is Zaza waiting in the wings to decimate his opposition. As at the moment, the overhead in the back 3, the double dive kick is going to be able to connect as he managed to get himself an 18-hit combo. Once again, tries to connect with the overhead. Will throw down the lightning to see if the low will confuse him at all. Looks like Arbor Stacks is well prepared in the back corner, but not well prepared when it comes down to how much life he really has on his meter. So, good anti-throw tech being showed there by Shokan. He will be able to land the uppercut, will be able to get into a bounce-up, knock-up combo, and just like that, stomps on his opposition, says, you know what? This cat is not worth my time. It might mean that Arbor Stacks needs to change the character unless he can come up super clutch right now. Still has a lot of meter to be able to work with. We haven't seen him use it so effectively just yet. But the trait will get thrown down. That means that Arbor can't really get in too close. Obviously, each one of those lasers that go around, or the lightning balls, will take damage. And is going to be your boy, once again, Shokan, coming up with the W. And essentially cementing himself a 2-0 lead here. As we'll have to double back to the character select. As
Black Adam, Catwoman.
it looks like these players won't change sides and they won't change characters. So at the moment, Arbor staring down the barrel of a 3-0 loss here, ladies and gentlemen. And shoo, you got to be a nervous cat if you're going to be going up against this Black Adam from Shokan. As they get ready to jump right into the action. The interactable tower will get thrown out. It's not going to really earn a meter here for Arbor Stacks as they both try to find their way in. There's a tentative start, but it's going to be a nice little uppercut and an interactable. The back 3 is not going to be able to connect here from Shokan, as we saw a couple of frames dropping on that side. And he will be able to come up with the big grab, throwing him around onto the left-hand side. Of course, you need to understand that they try to bridge that distance, and whenever you get placed in a corner, you want to try throw your opposition closer towards that corner as possible so you can keep those combos burning. And at the moment it is Shokan connecting with a couple of lows into the juggle up. The double dive is going to be able to connect as he throws in the mids and pushes him across quite easily with the lightning. Will be able to land the knock up with the meter burn, and just like that jumps down on him. Arbor Stacks on the back foot. However, it's time for him to launch into his meter burn back 3, as he will be able to whip himself up a massive combo here as he throws Shokan for the first time across the map, as a big shot will get dodged out there from Arbor Stacks. At the moment is Shokan in the corner trying to work his way in. Both players will land a shot, but it's going to be Shokan with the first one to deal damage here. Will be able to throw that bicycle essentially across the screen, as he will try dive in from a distance. He does use the meter burn, and it's going to be enough to withdraw Shokan into 1 bar. So a clash is available for both of these players. We have not seen a clash at this stage of the competition just yet, as he will be able to connect with the mids. And this is the clash, ladies and gentlemen. This is where the players essentially have to decide how much meter they're going to commit. If you're the defending player and you commit more meter than your opposition, that means you're going to get a health regen. Whereas if you're the attacking player and you spend more meter than your opposition, you're going to get an attacking bonus. So we'll do an additional percentage of damage. But for right now, when it's tied up, means that nothing essentially happens. Nobody's going to get any extra damage, as at the moment a clash will now get called out from Shokan.
I'm way more than that.
So he has 2 bars to spend. You can expect him to spend at least one of those. As he does that, and you'll see he gets 15% health regen that will be attributed to the top left-hand corner. So you really have to mentally strategize when it comes down to making those decisions. Am I going to bring it out early and spend that meter? Or am I going to try use that in my combos and my maneuvers? Or I'm going to try use that for anti-air escape? It all comes down to what you want to be able to decide. But for right now, it's going to be a big dive with the mid-air combo, as Arbor Stacks is clearly on the back foot at the moment. Now it's Shokan just trying to chip away as much damage as he can. Will Arbor be able to come? No, it's a big uppercut that knocks the cat down. And it is going to be Shokan progressing through to the next round. But ladies and gentlemen, talking about the next round, we do have our next 2 players, which is going to be J25 Flow taking on GEM Zaza. And we'll be back with that one in just a second.
You'll be rage quitting in a heartbeat. Unlike coding, this'll be easy. My training will see me through. You make Bebop look good.
You will suffer, fool.
I run a delivery service for pain. Coming through, bro. My turn. Shell shot. Nice. Pepperoni.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Arbor Stacks will now find himself moving to the losers bracket semifinals, where Shokan will go to the winners bracket final, where he awaits the challenger. It's J25 Flow taking on GEM Zaza next. And right now, it is going to be Zaza that we pay attention to, as his main characters, the Green Lantern, Starfire, as well as Aquaman. We've seen him prolific with all of those. This player, hailing out of Zambia, has been a massive force coming into the fighting gaming scene in sub-Saharan Africa, essentially coming out on top of the Injustice 2 Legendary Series, where he found himself essentially much richer after coming out on top of that competition. On the other side of things, J24 Flow is essentially a relative unknown from my side of things. Likes to play with Michelangelo, Black Adam, as well as Captain Cold. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I've got our players pretty much ready. And I'm going to ask them to leave AFK, and we can start with the character selection. Who do you think is going to be able to take this one? Who do you think will be the #1 fighter? I can't wait to see. At the moment, will Zaza essentially have his first challenge here of the tournament in J25 Flow? We are not too sure, but for right now, it is time for character select. And on our left-hand side is going to be Zaza, and on our right-hand side is J25 Flow.
Black Adam. Green Lantern.
Alright, it looks like we've got a Green Lantern versus Black Adam matchup.
Fighters approaching Red Sun Prison.
And essentially both of these players offer themselves a lot of utility in these combinations. J25 Flow probably was taking a look at Shokan a little bit earlier, saying, you know what, whatever you can do, I can do better. Well, we'll have to wait and see. As it is going to be GM Zaza taking on the Kenyan in J25 Flow.
A liar like you.
Looking forward to see how these two players go head to head. And some lightning will get thrown down from a distance. Zaza just going to play this one slow. Going to throw down the bowling ball. Will not be able to connect with the opening break, as the grab will be able to get landed here from J25. The flying kick from a distance. Zaza kind of just trying to suss out his opposition at the moment. How is he going to be able to approach this one? So much expectation on Zaza's shoulders as J20 Flow is walking himself into a dangerous situation. As soon as you get close and up close and personal with Zaza, he essentially loves to punish. As the low will be able to connect into the overhead, and the first bar is going to potentially get removed here, but it is going to be the trait that flows through. J25 Flow essentially removing the first bar, and that might be a little bit unexpected for some of you. At the moment, Zaza is fighting for his life in this one. I'm not too sure. Seemingly on the back foot as the trap will get landed and the clash will get brought out. J25 Flow is showing the fire here, ladies and gentlemen. 3 bars will get spent. That will get him almost back to full health within his first bar. The bowling ball will get thrown out from a distance. As the distance is essentially where J25 Flow is going to prioritize here. He does have those lightning strikes, and he does have that fly down meter burn kick. And now, in the close range, this is where Puizes, or rather Zaza, comes up massive. However, on the other side of things, J25 Flow throws in the overhead. He will land the back 3, and he's going to try find his way in. He needs to come back with a massive fight at the moment. Will be able to connect with the grab, and tries once again with the overhead. Grab onto the other side, throwing him around like a ragdoll at this point, ladies and gentlemen. Will J25 Flow be able to fight up against this monster that is Puizes, or rather Zaza? He will be able to land the shot. He takes a little bit of damage there from J25 Flow. As the meter burn, the landing flying kick from a distance should be enough, as it's going to be J25 Flow coming up with round #1 against Zaza.
Black Adam wins.
For some of you, that might be unexpected, but we've clearly got another competitor on our hands here. J25 Flow looking incredible in round #1, but it looks like we have to return back to character select to see what is going to transpire between these two players. Now Zaza will move to the right-hand side. And on our left-hand side is going to be J25. A player that I don't think entered the Injustice 2 Legendary Series, but has stood up as one of the most fierce competitors, taking essentially on the champion in his own right. So now it looks like Superman might get picked up here by Zaza. As he goes over to Starfire. Now Starfire is going to give him a little bit more range to compete with from a distance, as we've been seeing Black Adam excelling from that range. And when it comes down to what Zaza is going to be able to achieve, we'll have to wait and see. As for right now, It is time to cross over to the action.
Begin.
As it is Starfire taking on this Black Adam as they both try get their distance. As the lasers will get thrown down from across the map. And now this is what the players like to call zoning. Essentially trying to get as much damage from far away as possible and forcing their players to either make a move in to get up close. And Starfire is probably one of the best characters when it comes down to range. At the moment, it is the Black Adam, however, forcing his way forward, trying to bridge this gap. Is Zaza ready for it? We've seen this come out in the beginning of the game, and essentially as patches roll out, Deadshot is one of the best at zoning from a range, and we saw essentially the South African champion in Shokan be so effective at using it. As it's going to be Starfire working her way out of the situation. However, it's an overhead throw, and just like that, Zaza is on the back foot once again. So it is the knock-up that will be able to connect once again as Zaza trying to do work with his Starfire. Will throw in with the meter burn. Will be able to connect with the low. Now just trying to be able to find his way in here. Will be able to land 4 hits as J25 Flow seemingly does not like the close range fights. But the question is, will anybody be able to get and bridge that gap at range? It looks like Zaza's going to be able to remove the first bar from his opposite number. As at the moment, another good option might be the Super Gold, who has been prolific at bridging that distance with the teleport across map. However, on the other side of things, Zaza's not giving this one up just yet. As we'll need to back up, we'll throw in the laser. Uses the trait to make sure it gets full force out of that one. At the moment, it's going to be the meter burn overhead combo coming in here. And just like that, grabs him and throws him down once again. It is J25 Flow with all the moves. The unsuspected player coming out of nowhere to take the 2-0 lead against Injustice 2 Legendary Series champion in Alright, so we double back to character selection here. And we'll have to wait and see what they're going to decide to pick here. So far, definitely not expected in its own right. J25 Flow needs to play with Black Adam. He needs to keep that same character. If you're wondering, if you do win a game, you have to keep the same character that you were playing with in the previous round, whereas the character selection really goes down to the player that lost in the previous rounds. For right now, who's he going to go with? Will he go to Microtown, ladies and gentlemen? That's a question in its own right. Will he go to Microtown? Clearly, Zaza has been pondering, and it looks like he's going to go with the Superman here. Now, how effective will he be with the Superman as we go to the Batcave? I'm not too sure. I really can't call this one. J25 Flow has come out of nowhere to prove his worth here in this competition. And now currently sitting with a comfortable 2-0 lead. Zaza's going to come in with the interactable and essentially award himself the first meter. We've seen Zaza come back from worse deficits in his own time. As at the moment, the low will be able to land and the grab. And just like that, J25 Flow throwing him across the map and saying, get out of here, son. As he's trying to clean up a quick 3-0. On the other side of things, it is going to be a small uppercut trying to connect its way, as the Superman's not going to be able to find its way in here. It's going to be the lightning that rains its way down as a low once again. Both these players trying to feel out one another's moves. How are they going to be able to work this one forward? As the grab will be able to connect. It's the fly down once again coming on from J25. The meter burn laser being thrown in towards opposition. As it looks like Zaza says, you know what, you want to play this ranged game? I'm happy to do it. As he's just baiting out those jumps and trying to time it so he can keep the chip damage going. On the other side of things, the meter burn will be able to land, and it is the double kick combo landing in here from J25. As the meter burn gets himself out of that precarious situation, as the laser will be able to find its way forward. And just like that, he brings it back within one. Both of these players now tied up with 1 bar of health. Black Adam taking on the Superman at the moment. It is J25 Flow, represented with this Black Adam that he has been looking so prolific with, as he finds his way into a 6-hit combo, landing 150 damage. The first clash will get called out here.
Stop me.
2 bars get spent here, and it's an attacker success coming in, as J25 Flow not being able to cope with that attack. So I mean, from the other side of things, Black Adam gives you so much great utility, as he does manage to keep the distance game as well as bridges the gap with those flying kicks from range. However, Zaza, ready to stand up to the challenge, lands the back 3, and now we'll be able to put him to a corner. Now, this is not a position that you want to be in against Superman. You need to know exactly how to defend it, as the overhead combo is going to be able to land here from the other side of things. J25 Flow, but the clash is still available from Superman.
I'll show you the wizard's power.
2 bars will likely get spent here from J25 Flow to the 0, as it is a defender success, as Zaza comes up with a massive 25% health regen. On the other side of things, what is Black Adam going to be able to do to get himself back into this fight for the first time, looking like on the back foot? The grab will be able to land, does not have the tech to be able to fight it, as just like that, slowly but surely getting chipped away, tries to land a grab of his own, and no, it is Zaza pulling one back here, ladies and gentlemen, as he's not going to be giving up without a fight. Zaza is right back in the competition. Alright, that means we're going to have to double back to character selection. And that's where we go.
Superman.
As J25 will take the right-hand side now. And Zaza on the left-hand side.
Superman.
Who will take this one? That is the question. Let us know, ladies and gentlemen. For right now, it is going to be the Kenyan taking on the Zambian, as J25 Flow currently with that lead of 1 round, but this next game is going to be so crucial. And to be honest, I feel like if Zaza takes this next one, J25 Flow is going to be scratching his head. Not too sure how he's going to be able to approach this. Throws the lightning in again from a distance. Will be able to get that big launch kick. As we'll be able to get the reversal counter coming in, as it is J25 throwing down the lightning and getting that early chip damage away from his opposite number. Oh, that flash kick not going to be able to find its way in once again. It is going to be in a good air escape as J25 Flow gets himself out of that precarious situation. The uppercut will be able to land. The freeze comes in. Back 3, ladies and gentlemen. Now he puts him in a corner, and this is not a position that you want to be in, as he connects with the overhead once again. It is another big freeze coming into play with another big overhead combo. J25 clearly on the back foot here as Zaza turns up the pace.
The strong protect the weak.
It's another big kick coming in. The clash will eventually get called out here.
Conduct's king.
Not anymore.
Decides to wager 0 bars as the clash does get tied there. I'm not too sure about the move behind that one, as the knockup will be able to connect with the lightning overhead. On the other side of things, Zaza's finding his way in, managing to read his opposition with the back 3. He meets him in mid-air, throws him down with the low combination. Will he once again go for the overhead? We've seen it do it time and time again. However, on the other side of things, he connects with the uppercut, and now ready to go for the challenge. J25 throws in the big moves. And now we're going all the way to the pyramids. Are we going to be let down, ladies and gentlemen, as Zaza gets his first bar of health removed? But it is J25 Flow looking like he's severely on the back foot. Lightning will get called in. It's a meter burn combo, and just like that, Zaza proving his worth here as he makes it 2-0, or should I say 2-all. And J25 Flow, I'm not too sure if he knows how to deal with this. All right, so we double back to character selection. J25 Flow is the only player now that essentially is allowed to change his character. And it looks like J25 Flow might change things up. We saw him hovering over the Aquaman there for a second. So he goes with the Aquaman against the Superman from Zaza. We'll have to see how this one plays out. I really can't call this one either way, ladies and gentlemen. But one thing I can call is that these players have been giving us one hell of a show so far. As we push this one live and we get ready for this, the last round in this best out of 5. And the Aquaman already working his way forward will be able to land the big meter burn combos with the overhead. And there's that Trident Rush coming in massive. The lasers will get thrown in as the tentacle will come up from the distance. The zoning from Aquaman can be so lethal and you have to play it so carefully. Especially getting too close even against him is quite tricky in its own right. As the Intactable will get called in, the tentacles coming in from a distance. And it is going to finally be Zaza working his way forward. And it's going to be the big Aquaman that stays true as he doesn't connect with much damage on that side of things. Oh, it is the Blaze, and now we've seen this before where Zaza just keeps the pressure coming in the corner. The Trident Rush, you can expect that as the Trident Throw does come out. Will he be able to connect? Finds his way in with the overhead. This is exactly what he needed. However, it's a great air escape coming out there from J25. On the other side of things, Zaza tries to find his way in, does exactly that with the overhead. However, drops the combo halfway through. That might be crucial.
Who needs a crack?
All right, Zaza finally pulls up on the trait. That's going to land him a little bit more damage. We'll be able to connect with a good meter burn laser connection. We'll be able to find his way in with the uppercut. Another meter burn air escape as Aquaman does not have too much bar to spend at this stage. And there we go. Zaza bringing it back. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a game on our hands in this, our first rounds. The tentacles will get whipped up. The laser is going to be used just as a zoning tool to bridge the distance, as it looks like the trait will get called in once again. Nothing's going to come out of that attack as Zaza wisely making the correct decision. The Trident Rush and the Clash will get called out just to make sure that that chip damage doesn't come into play. 2 bars get spent as Zaza should get himself almost back to full health here. There we go. Zaza finding his way back into the corner as it is J25 Flow. He started with the 2-0 lead and now is on the back foot as he's forced to use up the Clash. 1 bar will get spent, 15% health regen. The overhead will be able to land, and there we go. Unfortunately, the freeze drops halfway through. And will Aquaman be able to get himself out of this precarious situation? The meter burn into the overhead. Trident Rush is coming out once again. And now it is the footsies. It's all about the gameplay here, ladies and gentlemen. Will the Aquaman be able to stand true, or will it be Zaza with the comeback from the 2-0 down? It is the uppercut that lands. And Aquaman, both of these players, it really can go either way as the combo is going to be able to connect. He lands a freeze into the back 3. The overhead, the follow through is not going to be able to find its way in, as it is the back 3 that tries to find its way in from the Aquaman. On the other side of things, both these players tied up as Zaza's putting in the damage. Expect a massive back 3 as just like that, he should be able to clean this up. He's on critical, ladies and gentlemen, and just like that, the laser comes in as Zaza secures himself into the winners bracket final, where we've got a rematch, ladies and gentlemen, of the Injustice 2 Legendary Series Grand Finale, where Shao Kahn took on Zaza. That is our next match, and I'll be back with you all in just a second. ladies and gentlemen, our first match that we saw, Alba Stacks taking on FTG Shokan. That was a hell of a match, but then we went to J25 Flow taking on GEM Zaza. Zaza and Shokan essentially progressing through now to the next round where we'll be playing the winners bracket final. So we'll have to wait and see what takes place on that one. But how about we take a look at the lineup where it is. Of course, our first highlighted player in this one is going to be FTG Shokan. Alright, so FTG Shokan playing with Superman, Supergirl, as well as the Black Manta. And on the other side of things, when it comes down to Zaza, we saw them go head-to-head last time. And he plays with the Green Lantern, Starfire, as well as the Aquaman. And obviously now we get to watch the Zambian take on the South African once again. And so far, I really don't know which way this one's going to go, ladies and gentlemen. It has been intense so far. They've managed to give us a hell of a show. And so far, we're going to be able to see a repeat of what we saw in that previous game, that previous legendary series where most of you have tuned into before. It was massive. And I'm expecting that this one is going to be just as big between these two players. And we'll have to wait and see what is going to go down between both of them, as it looks like they are pretty much in the lobby and ready to go. So it is time to get this one set up as they get ready to leave AFK, and we jump into character selection, ladies and gentlemen, as the match gets ready to start here. This is the Injustice 2 Showcase Tournament, and this is thanks to PSG, Nikon, and ACGL all coming together in their efforts to be able to get this one going. And on our left-hand side is going to be Shokan. On our right-hand side, it is going to be Zaza. And these two players have a long history, ladies and gentlemen. One that Shokan, I know personally, he wants to get back at his opposite number. The South African and the Zambian. The Zambian essentially knocking down the South African champion in the previous tournament. And now, that Green Lantern that essentially Shokan struggled quite heavily against will now go up against the Supergirl from Shokan that I've seen him play with. He's absolutely prolific with her. We'll have to wait and see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. But thank you nonetheless for joining us here today. As we get ready for the winners bracket final, is Shokan taking on GEM Zaza. Zaza's going to try keep this pressure up on the other side of things. Shokan works his way in towards the corner. Going to try keep that pressure going. As the Green Lantern not going to be able to find his way in just yet. As well blocked out there from Shokan. As he decides to make use of that plus frame. Now that just basically means that he's got plus seconds on a move to be able to put in the damage. Shokan, however, taking a lot of damage on that side of things. Constantly being chipped away. As he will be able to work his way forward. However, not being able to land with the shoulder charge, rather, as the grab will be able to get connected. Lasers get thrown out from a distance as Zaza backs off a little bit. As Shokan tried to keep that pressure going, will be able to connect with the freeze. Will he be able to come up with the back three? That's exactly what he does, as he connects with the cross-map combo. And now it is Zaza feeling the pressure here as he's faced himself into the corner. Once again, going to try get that lantern combination. As a delayed wake up will come in here from Shokan. Shokan trying to come out of that one. Unfortunately for him, it is going to be Zaza coming up with the plays. Great grab take there being showed by Shokan as Zaza pulls back to 1 bar apiece. The lasers being thrown out there. Both of these players trying to use their zoning damage. As as it looks like Shokan getting him into a corner. That's a great position to be in as he connects once again with the low. Will come in with the overhead and keeps the juggle going into this back corner as he keeps the damage piling on it. It's a massive 20 hit combo. Once again connecting with the overhead out of the wake up.
Just admit, you're impressed.
I expected better, Hal.
3 bars will get spent, and that's a massive health regain here from Zaza. On the other side of things, this is Shokan trying to use the map interactables there to get his damage down. As he connects with the damage from distance once again, as another big freeze is going to come into play. It's a back 3 that gets him knocked down across map and once again puts him in the corner. Will he be able to find his way in with the overhead? There's no way to get out of the combo with the clash that is available from Zaza's side, but Shokan
really
still has his one in the back pocket.
Never heard that one before.
%15 health regen going in favor of Shokan here, who's managed to turn this one into his favor. At the moment, trying to find his way in. Will be able to connect with the lows. The shoulder charge is not going to be able to land. Tries to get in with the overhead. He's on critical damage at the moment. Will Zaza be able to fight his way back in? All that it takes is just one strike of damage here from his opposite number. As the anti-grab attack is a quick punch that will essentially give Shokan the lead here in the 1-0 going over to Supergirl in Shokan. All right, so we double back to character selection. And the Black Adam is going to get called out here from Zaza, as he looks to counter this Supergirl from Shokan.
Fighters approaching the Joker's playground.
So we'll go to the Joker's playground, ladies and gentlemen, as the fight heats up here in the winner's bracket final.
Begin.
As so far, it is Shokan with the 1-0 lead. We'll be able to land the grab, and this should get him the first meter as well. Another grab is going to come in as he says, you know, whatever you want to block out, I'm going to be able to fight you off. As it is a nice landed combo here from Zaza with the Black Adam. Another grab is going to be enough as he keeps just throwing him up and down. At this point, the meter burn freeze will not be able to connect. It's just grab after grab that Zaza seemingly can't compete against. As the wake up with the back heel kick, it is a back 3 that's going to be able to find his way in as he lands the juggle. The shoulder charge is going to be able to chip down some damage. On the other side of things, once again, lands with the big shoulder charges to overhead into the mid combo. And that will give him an opportunity to get the freeze. Back 3. And that should be enough damage to chip down the first health bar from Zaza. Lasers will get thrown out from a distance. As it is the dive kick with lightning from range, as the wake up will be able to find its way in. It is an awkward position, however, for Shokan to be able to pick up as he's unable to land the back 3. As he gets whittled down to his first bar as well. Great shoulder charge coming in from Shokan, who puts him on the back foot. Now going to use those lasers just to keep up the damage from distance. However, it's a game that is a very dangerous one to play against the Black Adam, who also has some good zoning tools in his kit. Backing up, trying to fight his way forward at the moment, chipping some damage in as he will be able to land down on the pile driver and will be able to keep this combo going on the right hand side. Finally, Zaza stops the combo. As both players tied up, so he's not going to be able to get any health regen out of that one. Now on critical health, should he be able to find his way in? It is a massive shot there coming in from Shokan, who quickly makes the score 2-0 in favor of the South African.
Supergirl wins.
So we double back now to character selection, and will Zaza change things up? Or will he decide to go with what he has known to be his favorite?
Supergirl.
We've seen him do some amazing things with the Aquaman as well. As he uses a hidden cursor. At this stage, it really doesn't matter. Shokan has to use what he has to use no matter what. The Starfire, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we're going to Microtown, ladies and gentlemen, as it looks like the Atom is going to get called out.
Fighters approaching Fortress of Solitude.
So the Atom finds its way forward, and now Zaza staring once again down the barrel of a 2-0 deficit. Will he be able to bring out the comeback as he did in the previous round? We'll have to wait and see. Good anti-grab tech being showed there. As, it's going to be a nice little combo that does get landed by Atom to be able to get that first combo. And the interactable will get used with the back 3 combination. And once again is Shogun putting on the early pressure here, ladies and gentlemen. The laser will be able to find its way in as the TP wake up is not going to be able to get inside, as it is going to be the overhead combo that Shokan decides to go with as he chips the damage away and keeps him on the back foot. Once again, landing with the overhead. Zaza not being able to contend against the super goal from Shokan that has been looking so good.
I can knock you down all day.
Alright, so it's the man from Microtown that's trying to fight his way forward here as he goes into essentially his micro form. Going to be able to chip some damage away from his opposite number. As the interactable will get used there. The teleport across map. It is once again the freeze coming in from the Shokan, as he will be able to come up with the interactable with the map once again.
Don't make me fly up your nose.
And the clash will get called out here. As this one's going to go in favor of Zaza, who gets himself back up to basically full health, but now has no clash to be able to use. Should he find himself on the back end of one of those dangerous, deadly combos from Shokan, who once again is going to be able to get that combination going. And ooh, he's looking so dirty with the super goal at the moment. Will land with the freeze, decides, you know what, doesn't even need to go with the back 3, as he will be able to bridge this one into interactable back 3. It is Microtown that we go to with Zaza, who finds his way in and has been essentially his most effective way of doing damage with Atom at this stage. But at the moment, getting taken down. Oh, Shokan showing him some dirt. We don't get to see that too much from him. And on the other side of things, it's an overhead combo. He's going to say, you know what, get knocked down to the loser's bracket, as it's Shokan progressing all the way through to the grand final as he takes this match number 2 of his tournament. And essentially now it's time to see who's going to be able to play for their life in the losers bracket. We'll be back in just a second.
Thanks for the light, pal. This just got a whole lot more interesting.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get this one started. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get this one started. As I just said, it is going to be Arbor Stacks taking on J25, and J is not a player that we can rule out. We saw him essentially taking a 2-0 lead against Zaza, one of the best players in Sub-Saharan Africa. And J25 Flow on the other side of things, we've seen him using that Michelangelo, the Black Adam, as well as Captain Cold. But for right now, it's down for the character selection. And on our left-hand side, it is going to be J25. And on our right-hand side, it's going to be Arbor Stacks. Alright, so it looks like the Michelangelo will get picked out here.
Michelangelo.
As he locks in the character select. And it is going to be on the other side of
Fighters
things.
approaching Atlantis.
As goes with the Black Adam. No, I do apologize. It's actually the Catwoman. As early first meter damage will get awarded here to Arbor Stacks, who's trying to fight his way in as both of these Kenyan players go head to head. At the moment it is going to be Arbor Stacks trying to keep this pressure piled on as the Ninja Turtle, Michelangelo, trying to fight his way forward at the moment. Arbor Stacks whipping out the damage at the moment with those claws, keeping Michelangelo on this back foot as J25 Flow unable to keep up with the pace. And just like that, whittles down the first bar. It looks like Arbor Stacks is in a hurry, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be the Michelangelo still trying to find some damage here. As unable to work his way forward as the overhead combination coming in for Arbor Stacks with the meter burn, not going to be able to come in as it's a Michelangelo with the overhead into the skateboard slide kick. And there's going to be a decent amount of damage as he skirts around his opposite number, but it's not going to be enough to really perturb Arbor Stacks at this stage. As a full bar clash will get brought out here from J25 Flow. More than likely going to spend around about 2 or 3. Spends 3 bars to get himself 30% health regen. We'll throw in the skateboard, and apparently it's Arbor Stacks decimating his opposite number as he lands the grab there. And it's a great wake-up counter coming in here as he uses the interactable into the back 3. Unfortunately, drops the combo halfway through. And it is the back 3 coming in from Arbor Stacks as he works his way ever closer with this Catwoman. So massive once again, another back 3 combination. Dropping his combo halfway through, however, on the other side of things. This is J25 Flow trying to put in the damage as he chips down the health enough to whittle down Arbor into 1 bar. Alright, so it's decimating damage coming in from a distance here. As it is going to be Arbor Stacks should be able to close this one after he lands the overhead. It is going to be a massive wake up there coming from J25, but it's not going to be enough as Arbor Stacks takes round number 1 against his opposite number. Alright, so it's going to be Arbor Stacks now moving to the left-hand side of your screen, whereas J25 Flow will go to the right-hand side.
Black Adam. Fighters approaching Gotham City.
So we go to Gotham City, ladies and gentlemen. Currently Arbor Stacks sitting with a 1-0 lead against his fellow Kenyan.
Begin.
As going with his preferred Black Adam that we saw gave Zaza so much trouble early on. As the claws will get thrown out, the grab's going to be able to find its way in. And there's going to be a massive overhead kick here, and we'll have to wait and see. Will J25 be able to slow down this fast movement pace from the Catwoman that has been relentless? He hasn't been able to seemingly keep up with it just yet. Tries to revert once again to his zoning play as a massive cross-map back 3 will be able to land. Will be able to use the anti-air to get out of one of the combinations, and it looks like he's not going to be facing himself in a good position anytime soon as his first health bar gets removed.
You never had it.
Alright, so Arbor Stacks Really has to be pretty happy with himself at the moment. However, we'll be able to drop that meter burn backslash. As it is going to be J25 trying to work his way forward here. Unfortunately for him, not being able to land those combos just yet. The whip from a distance going to be able to open him up just a little bit. As it's going to be the Catwoman clawing her way forward. As it is that mid that's going to be able to connect. Will slowly just chip away at his opposition's damage and using those lows quite effectively to catch J25 off guard, who will now whip out the clash. And there's another meter burn back 3 backslash is not going to find its way in. It is going to be a massive hit up as Arbistax now taking some damage of his own. There we go. Managed to finally connect with that one as he finds his way forward with the overhead kick. And just like that, it's going to be J25 Flow essentially whittled down as Arbistax gets himself another round and he gets one step closer into the losers bracket final. All right, so we go back to character select and we'll have to wait and see what J25 is going to do here to mix things up. Will he change his character? Will he go with somebody new? This Kenyan going up against essentially his Kenyan comrade. And at the moment, Arbistax seems to know every single move, how to capitalize on his fellow countryman's playstyle.
Captain Cold.
And we finally see the Captain Cold getting called out here.
Fighters approaching
Will
the
this
bat
be
cave.
what changes the game here? As we get ready to jump into the action. It is on our left-hand side, Arbistax with the Catwoman. Taking on the right-hand side, Captain Cold of J25 Flow. Trying to get this chip damage coming in from a distance. As the whip will be able to find its way in, the high into the low, and just like that, the claws are going to keep raining out. Chip damage coming in with every single hit that lands. Once again, trying to connect with the overhead, and it's not going to be good enough as the freeze will be able to come in. There's a big back 3 landing in from the Captain Cold, and he's going to be able to keep the damage coming. The glacial spike will not be able to find its target. As he's trying to bridge this distance at the moment, but that's not really what the Catwoman wants. She wants to get in nice and close. At the moment, J25 trying to land the combo as he lands the wall kick and puts him into a corner. At the moment, it's the backslash that will be able to find his way forward. He waits for the overhead to come in so he can take corner positioning. At the moment, loses out at the last second. It's a back 3 that lands as he manages to find his way into the mid-air. It is the Catwoman from Arbistax that's looking so solid at this stage. The claws will come out once again, but they're not going to be able to find their target. As at the moment, Captain Cold going to change his weapon, but that's going to cause him a little bit of trouble. Seemingly only on the last bar of health at the moment. The whip will be able to find its way in as it connects with the mid into the low. Now the overhead is going to be able to connect, and just like that lands the double claws with the overhead combination. Will he be able to find his way in? Unfortunately, the overhead will not be able to find, but he still keeps the pressure on the corner. Going to use those plus frames to his advantage.
Let's say we cut a deal.
I'd rather cut you.
Captain Cold now going to get himself around about 25% health regen. As the whip will be able to find its way in. It's the low into the wall that gets pulled up. It's a back 3 that he comes out of. And just like that, it is J25 Flow on the back foot. And potentially finding himself out of this tournament altogether and out with that chance of winning a trip to Egypt. It is going to be Arbistax coming in with the 3-0 victory to progress to go face Zaza in the next round. We're going to be sending out the invites, ladies and gentlemen, and getting that next round started in just a bit. You are tuned in to this Injustice 2 Showcase Tournament brought to you by PSG, Nikon, ACGL, and of course, there's the good folks that are viewing this all the way at Discomics Africa. Big love to each one of you. As for right now, we're going to cross to another ad break.
You'll be rage quitting in a heartbeat. Unlike coding, this'll be easy. My training will see me through. You make Bebop look good.
You will suffer, fool.
I run a delivery service for pain.
Coming through, bro.
My turn.
Shell shot.
Nice. Pepperoni.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, next up we've got FTG Arbor Stacks going to be taking on Zaza, who's now found himself in the losers bracket final. On the other side of things, we take a look at Zaza, the Zambian, the Injustice 2 Legendary Series winner with Green Lantern, Starfire, and Aquaman. Looks like both these players are ready to jump into character select, so we're going to do exactly the same as we follow our way through right now. It is going to be Zaza on our left-hand side and Arbor Stacks on our right-hand side. Will Arbor be able to turn this one into his favor? Or will it be Zaza fighting his way back to have revenge against Shao Kahn? For right now, we're going to have to wait and see as the narrative will unfold of who is going to be able to stand up as the champion of this Injustice 2 Showcase tournament.
Aquaman.
As it looks like Zaza is going to go with the Aquaman up against the
Fighters
Catwoman.
approaching the Joker's playground.
As we head over to the Joker's playground to kick off this match number 1 of the best of 5. And it's going to be a massive overhead combo that's going to be able to land off of the get-go from Zaza, who's going to come in with a massive trident rush. Not able to find his way forward with that overhead. But being able to get the early damage is going to be able to give him that valuable meter to spend how he wishes. Trying to find his way in with the low there. Going to be able to use the casket to do some damage from a distance. Another explosive casket will get thrown in. Trying to keep out zoning his opposition as he will be able to find his way forward with the overhead. However, the combo's not going to be able to find its way through. However, the chip damage from that trident rush is relentless. As he keeps it going, willing to spend that meter, we all can see on your top right hand corner how much damage that does. Will find his way in with the overhead, and just like that, lands the trident rush as well. And there he's going to say, take another trident for your work, as there's going to be Arbor Stacks on the back foot early on here. Whip his way forward, as it is Arbor Stacks working his way ever closer to his opposite number. That's where he kind of wants to be in these fights. At the moment it is the Aquaman, however, bridging that thanks to the tentacle as well as the trident throws. Chip damage going to get thrown in once again, and it's essentially a position that Arbor Stacks really doesn't want to find himself in. He either needs to be up close and doing damage, or he needs to be out of that fight completely. At the moment, we'll be able to connect with the back 3 as he brings Zaza down to within 1 bar himself.
I'm just toying with you.
As the clash will get it brought in here from Catwoman. So both players deciding to spend all 3 bars. So that's not going to be any extra additional health going in favor of Arbor Stacks. Zaza is trying to close this one off. As the low is not going to be able to find its way forward. And there we go. You'll be able to finally land that flick up. And just like that, the Trident Rush is going to come up with a massive overhead as he gives him a little bit of money for his worth. It's just like that. It is Arbor Stacks taking the initial loss here.
Aquaman wins.
As it is Zaza with the 1-0 lead. Alright, we're going to jump back into character selection now. And Arbor Stacks, will he change things up here?
Aquaman.
Doesn't look
Catwoman.
like he's willing to. He's going to stick here with the Catwoman.
Fighters approaching Slaughter Swamp.
The champion from Kenya taking on the Zambian champion in Zaza. Has Zaza currently with the 1-0 lead. He wants to fight his way back to face Shao Kahn.
Begin.
At the moment, it's a big grab that will come out once again. Arbor Stacks keeping that pressure on as the Trident Rush wake-up combo is going to be able to find its way in. As he tries to find the low, unfortunately for him, not going to be able to do that. But the Trident Rush will be able to pick up enough damage from his opposite number. As Intactable not going to be able to get him in there. At the moment, it is going to be another massive backslash. And unfortunately for him, drops a combo in midair there. Ooh, the casket's also not going to be able to land. As Zaza finding himself on the back foot for the first time against Arbor Stacks, who says, you know what, whatever you can do,
You might get robbed.
I can also do it. As he brings him down within 1. The overhead's not going to be finding its way in there from Aquaman. The uppercut with the Trident going to be able to find its way in as he connects with the double overhead into the mid-air combo. And that should be able to land another big tentacle meter burn grab. But he doesn't find it in. As there's another big combo coming in here from Arbor Stacks. However, it's a meter burn Trident Rush. This should be enough just to chip down the health of his opposite number. As Arbor Stacks brought within 1 as well.
Drag you to the depths.
It's the whip as well as the slash from a distance. The slash not going to be able to find his way in as the grab with the whip going to be able to do exactly that. However, on the other side of things, he finds his way in with that low. Huge amount of meter still to be able to be spent here from Arbor Stacks should he decide to use it. The clash does get called out. Now, will he commit all 3 bars?
Killed mice braver than you.
That's the question. Does exactly that. So, Zaza still on the back foot with his health not looking too good at this moment as the grab's going to be able to connect. And just like that, Zaza gets caught off guard as Arbor Stacks brings it back.
Catwoman wins.
Alright, so we go to character select.
Catwoman. Green Lantern.
Zaza now will take the right hand side. And on our left hand side, it is going to be
Fighters approaching Brainiac's ship.
Arbor Stacks, who brought it back. He has definitely brought it back, ladies and gentlemen, as the Green Lantern now comes out. And we know it's Zaza's favorite champion is this Green Lantern. That's it. It's going to be the close range fight that's going to be able to work his way forward. We'll throw out that bowling ball. Not going to be able to find his target as it's an overhead combo that's going to be landed here from Arbor Stacks. As Zaza's clearly on the back foot at the moment, being read out well by Arbor Stacks, who keeps on finding his way forward. At the moment, claws in with a big couple of shots. However, on the other side of things, Zaza's willing to grab and rises to the challenge. Just like that, fights his way forward. He's going to be able to land himself a couple of mids. However, on the other side of things, it is Arbor Stacks now trying to duck his way out of this position. But the Green Lantern pressure is just so massive. Bowling ball will get thrown down. Now shooting at him, keeping this range fight going as both players brought within the same around area of health. At the moment, it is a wake up and a grab landing here from Arbor Stacks, who will be able to come in with another big slash. And just like that, brings it back. At the the moment, it is the Green Lantern just trying to chip away, trying to bring this one even, as he should be able to do that now as they get close range. However, on the other side of things, Arbistax landing some damage of his own, as we'll be able to chip down some of Zaza's health before getting his first bar eliminated himself. The low whip will be able to connect, and just like that, lands the sliding kick, gonna throw him across and down, and we'll be able to connect once again with a big overhead. Throws him down to keep it going. Unfortunately for him, misses out as Catwoman gonna delay that wake up. The clash will finally get called out here from Arbistax.
Ring, don't fail me now.
Clash tied once again. None of those shots going to be able to find their way in here, as Arbistax seems to be becoming a little bit more familiar with this matchup as it goes forward. At the moment, trying to work his way in. Will be able to connect with the grab there. And trying to find it in with the overhead as he backs up. That cat crawl essentially getting out of that situation. But it's Zaza turning on the flames as he comes up with another big back three. This is where we've seen him keep up the pressure. Will Arbor be able to work his way in? I don't think so, as Arbor whips him across, and just like that, it's going to be a massive combo landing here from Arbistax as he lands the back three. However, it's not going to be enough for him to be able to work his way in. The anti-grab will get called out as Zaza takes a round of his own, as it is Zaza now with 2 to Arbistax 1. All right. So now it's going to be Zaza on our left-hand side with the 2 rounds in favor.
Fighters approaching Atlantis.
And Arbistax on our right-hand side, as the winner will go to face the champion so far, which is Shokan.
Begin.
So now Zaza only 1 round away. Throws out a bowling ball. Nobody with the meter just yet. That does get worked down as Arbistax comes up, but he's looking on the back end of a massive combo landing in here from Zaza, as he will be able to get in that knock up into the back three. Now trying to find his way forward. Unfortunately for him, that overhead's not going to be able to connect, but will be able to come up with the backslash into the back three knock up. At the moment, just chipping away damage from his opposite number, as it is currently Arbistax still on the back foot. But just like that, he lands a massive grab to bring it a little bit even, and more now leaning towards his favor. As Zaza feeling the pressure here, but will be able to land that low kick, throws him across, and lands the combo once again. Will Arbistax be able to rescue this in time? It doesn't look so, as the 50-50 goes in favor of the Green Lantern in Zaza at the moment. He's keeping up the damage, and just like that, Arbistax just left to be a spectator as he holds down the block button. And essentially just left to watch exactly how much damage he can take. And there we go, another big grab coming in from Zaza. The no-nonsense play now showing its full force as he lands the overhead. The clash will get called out here from Arbistax.
Stealing this one from you.
Ring, don't fail me now.
3 bars, that should bring him back almost within full. And he's going to keep his zoning from a distance. However, it is the clash and the shots that will come in, or the whip rather, from this Catwoman. Now Arbistax just playing his range, making sure he waits for the best opportunity, work his way into this fight, as the whip will come in. Chip damage coming away as he lands with the low. Now trying to feel out where he's going to be able to work his way forward. Zaza reacts better in time as he comes up with the club, and it's going to be Arbistax using that to just be able to jump out of that area, that close confined space. At the moment, will be able to find his way in with a couple of big kicks. And we've seen this before, but it is going to be now the clash coming out from Zaza as Arbistax playing for his life in this tournament, as he will be able to get himself 25% health regen. Arbistax, how is he going to be able to fight this one forward? It looks like the kick is going to come out earlier here from Zaza, who's so close to finishing this one off as he throws him up and around. And at the moment, Arbistax left on the back foot as he's not going to be able to connect with the back three. It is Zaza taking essentially the losers bracket final to face Shao Kahn in the next round, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with all of that action in just a second as we get the next game ready. It is the grand final. Zaza taking on Shao Kahn for the rematch of a rematch. I'm ready to get this one going. I'll see you all in just a bit.
Now.
Thanks for the light, pal. This just got a whole lot more interesting.
Now that looks like fun. Mind if we play?
Dibs on the magic, lady. We fight as a team, Mikey. Fine. Coming through, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the action. It is going to be Shao Kahn, the South African, who's been looking prolific with the super goal, taking on Zaza. Essentially a replay of what was the Injustice 2 Legendary Series Grand Finale is right back once again. As we get ready to jump into character selection, who do you think is going to take this one? The trip to Egypt, as the prizes provided all by the group from Nikon, PSG, Discomics, as well as all those involved getting ready to get this one started. I'd like to say a shout out to everybody at Discop Africa for tuning in to this, the grand finale. It is going to be Zaza taking on Shao Kahn.
Fighters approaching
And
Brainiac's
essentially
ship.
Zaza needs to beat Shao Kahn twice in this one, coming in from the losers bracket. So he'll need to win first to threes rather.
Begin.
As I get your screen ready, I do apologize. It is actually Shao Kahn on your right hand side and Zaza on your left hand side. As it is the Zambian taking on the South African. At the moment, things getting off to a great start for the South African, who's playing with the super goal as he keeps the juggle going. And out for complete revenge is here Shao Kahn. On the other side of things, we'll have to wait and see how is Zaza going to be able to react to the super goal. At the moment, he's going to keep finding himself on the back foot in this corner as the hits are going to keep on landing here from Shao Kahn. However, on the other side of things, it looks like Zaza's ready to fight back as he comes in with a combination of his own to be able to land 300 damage on his opposite number. So it looks like some big shots are going to be able to find their way in, as it is going to be Shao Kahn whittling down the first bar from his opposite number. So some big blocks going to come in. It is the overhead combination coming in from Zaza at the last that will be able to find its way forward as he lands a massive combo of his own. Zaza looking to bring this fight back to life, as it is going to be the Zambian ready to defend himself here. It's going to be the rotating kick into the back three that will be able to find its way forward for Shokan, who has already used the super goal oh so well, and now connecting with the overhead. He's already got him in the corner, does not need to risk, just miss juggling that back three. Moving on the other side of things, it is going to be another freeze coming in here from Shokan, who's ready to do the damage. As on the other side of things, Zaza trying to fight his way forward. Another freeze will come in. Zaza seemingly having no answer for those lows, as it's going to be Shokan coming out with round number 1 against the Zambian in Zaza.
Supergirl wins.
So the South African now with the 1-0 lead against his opposite number. And I believe they will change sides at the moment, as Shokan will now move to our left-hand side with that last victory. And on our right-hand side is going to be Zaza. The man's name that was so nice, they named him twice. It is Zaza, ladies and gentlemen. As he goes with the Starfire this time around, have to wait and see. Last time the Starfire really didn't work up too well for him when he was taking on J25 Flow. We'll have to wait and see if it's going to be enough in this one. As Shokan obviously forced still to play with that super goal. At the moment tries to land the shoulder charge and going to be able to use that anti-grab tech just in time. Will connect with the low, as it's the wake up coming in from the Starfire that doesn't make its way forward, as it's the overhead combination coming in from Shokan that will keep the juggle landing for a 15 hit combo. The wake up will be able to finally connect here from Zaza. As some footsies will get traded, the throw will be able to come in from Shokan, who has been looking prolific. He looks like a renewed fighter, ladies and gentlemen. As the lasers will come in, and just like that, it's going to be able to chip some damage from his opposite number. The juggle will come in on the right-hand side once again, as Zaza seemingly unable to keep up with the pace that Shokan is showing. Will he be able to turn this one around into his favor? We've seen Zaza do it time and time again, and he's a player that we cannot rule out, even when he's in a losing situation. Things finally waking up to some damage. It's going to be the low that finds its way in here from the typical, and it's going to be Zaza managed to land himself a 6-hit combo, and that's exactly what he needs to keep the damage flowing up against his opposite number. Starfire's damage is absolutely massive, ladies and gentlemen. And will it be enough to whittle down Shokan into 1 health? Oh, the low's going to be able to connect. It is the wake-up counter that finds its way in. And just like that, he lands the freeze. This should be another overhead juggle into the right-hand side. Not even sure if a clash is available at that stage, because he didn't even have a meter to be able to spend on it. And there we go. Finally, Zaza picks up 1 shot of his own to bring him down into a bar. The moment Shokan lands himself that mid-hit comp just to be able to get himself out of the combination. Now, will he go with the back three? That's exactly what he does. Decides not to go with the overhead, especially considering the distance. But the clash now will get called out. How much bars does he have to spend? Oh, you know what? Shokan's going to win this one no matter what, as he comes up with the 1 bar. And now Puiz is left uncritical, and he has to just be left to basically take a laser to the face. It is now Shokan with a 2-0 lead against Zaza. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we dive back into character selection.
Supergirl.
And who is Zaza going to go with? Shokan now staring down 1 match to take the title of this Injustice 2 Showcase tournament. And will the Sub-Zero come out, ladies and gentlemen? I love Sub-Zero, and maybe that's Zaza saying, you know what, can we get Mortal Kombat 11 already, ladies and gentlemen? It's a game that we all want to see, but who's he going to decide to go with? Will he go with the comfort pick in the Green Lantern that has struggled against the Superwoman so far? Atrocitus? Are we going to see some Dexter? Or is Zaza essentially just making us watch him change his character from time and time again? Will it be Superman? No, decides against it at this moment.
Swamp Thing.
The Swamp
Raiders
Thing
approaching Slaughter Swamp.
of all characters is going to come out here. And we'll have to wait and see if there's anything behind this character select. We'll have to wait and see. As it's going to be Swamp Thing taking on Supergirl. Basket will get thrown in from a distance as not going to even be able to pick up the interactable in time, as the Swamp Thing's going to try to do the log kick. Unfortunately not going to be able to find its way in, as the overhead will be able to land into the combo juggle here in the right hand corner. Once again coming out with a big one, as will be able to come up with that overhead juggle into that knock up. And it is not looking good for the Swamp Thing at the moment, as it looks like Shao Kahn's trying to prove a point here. Lands the back three and essentially almost goes to the first round without losing any health. So close to that perfect round there. At the moment, we'll be able to connect with the back three. The shoulder charge is going to be able to find its way in. At the moment, Shao Kahn's able to just keep this damage ticking. At the moment, it doesn't look like Zaza is going to be able to contend at all against his opposite number. Going to be Shao Kahn putting in the damage and just keeps on chipping away with every single opportunity. It is Shao Kahn with the easy victory as he takes this down as the champion of the Injustice 2 Legendary, or should I say before it's Legendary Series, it's Injustice 2 Series Showcase Tournament, and taking out essentially the Injustice 2 Legendary Series champion in Zaza. So, on that other side of things, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for the tournament. And it is going to be Zaza knocked down onto the back foot, as it is your champion Shao Kahn that comes out as the best player out of this showcase tournament. I'd like to thank each and every single one of you for tuning in, and I will catch you all on the next one. Cheers. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I've actually got some news that in the previous game that the players are going to jump right into another one, as they've agreed to do a replay, as Zaza stating that it was an input error from his side. So, it's not over just yet, ladies and gentlemen. We still got more action. Where are you running away from your screens? How dare you? Get back here. It's not done. As it is going to be the Superman taking on Shao Kahn's Supergirl. So we go back to the fight screen. At the moment, it is Shao Kahn on our left-hand side. He says, you know what, you were ready for a rematch? And Shao Kahn offered it to him, so we thought it was done, ladies and gentlemen. Essentially, when it comes down to technical rulings like that, it's up to the player if they want to be able to give that rematch. It's at no fault of their own if there is an input error on the other side of things. So Shao Kahn offered it, Zaza accepted it, and we kind of have to follow through from our side, ladies and gentlemen. So right now, it is going to be Shao Kahn working his way in with the Supergirl. Tries to land the back three. That one's not going to be able to connect, however, as he will be able to find his way forward with the low. The wake-up land kick. Will he go in with the overhead or the back three on this one? He decides, you know what, he's going to go with the knock-up across map. And going to try to find his way forward with those lows. On the other side of things, Zaza will take a boot to the chest and get knocked down. So just when we thought it was over, ladies and gentlemen, Zaza trying to fight his way back into this one. At the moment, Shao Kahn's not really giving him any opportunity to do that. As the Superman, massive fist from a distance, not going to be able to connect. As the clash will finally get called out here from Superman.
Thanks, but I'm not done.
3 bars will get spent here, and that's going to give him back within 1. So if he lands a massive combo, that will be huge here for Zaza. But it's going to be enough for the freeze to be able to land in, and it is going to be a massive back 3 freeze that will be able to come in. And just like that, it is, once again, Shao Kahn putting on the pressure here up against his opposite number, the South African. Showing some really good sportsmanship in offering that replay to his opposite number. So for right now, chip damage is going to be going on either side. And it's going to be enough to whittle down Shao Kahn to 1 bar. So the mid-air kick's going to be able to land. He finds his way in with the low. On the back foot against the Superman is never a position that you want to be able to be in. However, now works himself out of that area. The three is not going to be able to land on either side as it looks like Shao Kahn tried to bridge the distance there, but finds his way up close and personal against Zaza. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to win out on those frames as the overhead's also not going to be able to connect here from Zaza. As he will be able to come into the mid-air kick. It is the interactable that will get used, and will this be able to close it out as a meter burn? Freeze will land, and just like that, it is Shao Kahn coming out on top. He offered the replay, and essentially, he offered him another chance to lose to him in that round. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'd like to say a big thanks to PSG, Nikon, ACGL, the team at Discomics, as well as Discop Africa for making this one happen. It is, of course, your man, Shao Kahn, the South African, that will walk away with the grand prize, which is offered by Discomics, I believe it is, with that trip to Egypt to talk about esports and essentially take part in the events on that side of things. But for right now, I'm going to cross to an ad. My name is Nick Holden from ACGL, and it has been a pleasure shoutcasting this match for you.
You'll be rage quitting in a heartbeat. Unlike coding, this'll be easy. My training will see me through. You make Bebop look good.
You will suffer, fool.
I run a delivery service for pain. Coming through, bro. My turn. Shell shock. Nice. Pepperoni.